let's polish another thing off. So this is with our config menu. If we go ahead and start a new game, and then go to config, let's go ahead and take the music volume and mute it, and just take it all the way down. Then if we return, or actually if we try to go home, then you can see that the music is actually playing. We go back to config menu, audio is back exactly where it was. Because we haven't set it to save when the config menu closes, only when we quit the application. So if we go into our VN menu manager, which handles the returning home and quitting, right before we head back home, let's go ahead and make sure that we save the config. So let's go ahead and check vn configuration.activeconfig, and let's try to save it. If there was any sort of changes, let's make sure we save it before we switch the scene. I also want to come into the visual novel scene and add an extra button here to let me go back home without having to enter the save, load, or config menu. So after config, I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to make this a home button. The text is going to say home, and I'm simply going to link this up to my VN menu page manager and tell it to click home and save. Then I should be able to start a game, and I should be able to set the config, change the audio to muted, and then return and click my home button. And now we have no music playing because audio is muted. But what about the opposite? If I want to go from the main menu to the visual novel scene, and I decide to mute voices and unmute sound effects, and then start a new game, well, if we go to config, look at audio, that did not happen because we need to save it before we switch the scene in any case. So in this case, in the main menu script, let's go down to where we are starting the new game. And once we load the new scene, let's go ahead and say vn configuration.activeconfig.save and save any changes that might have been made in the main menu. So now I'll head back in, and I'm going to mute the music right before I go into the visual novel. So config, audio, mute, and then start new game. And there we go.
Yeah.
So the music is no longer running because we have muted it.